Is it love or is it lust? Hi, guys. My name is Apollonia Ponti, and I'm a certified dating and relationship and life coach. And I help men not only attract high quality women, but live a high quality life. And in today's video, we're going to talk about lust and love, with so many times I get questions about, and really I'm going to dissect it in this video. But before we get started, take a hold of my free ebook. It's called The 9 Signs That You're in a Toxic Relationship. So if you're battling between lust and love and having questions about it, not only will this video help you, but that free ebook will definitely help navigate and guide you through this relationship or experience you're having with a woman. So go ahead and download that in the links below. So with that said, let's get started. So in regards to lust, let's talk about what lust is first and a feeling that we might receive when it comes to lust. A lot of times, lust comes from an adrenaline feeling and the desired state. So, a lot of times we get confused with love and lust because we're in so much in dopamine um, and adrenaline in this relationship that we feel like this is love because we're not in a desired state, we're at a heightened state. And typically, when we are in lust with someone, they have this dramatic hold on our emotions, our sexual presence, and also our mentality, our mental thoughts. We maybe obsessively think over them. We get very emotional about them. They're tied to our emotions, meaning if they contact us, then we get happy instead of still being happy even if we hear from them throughout the day. But when we hear from them that day, then we get happy. So we're sad until we might hear from them. And then sexually, we fantasize into that. So it can go, lust is very prominent when it comes to sexual relationships, too, guys. So lusting relationships can happen because we lack experience with dating and socializing, that the one person that gives us that interaction, we begin to fantasize about them sometimes. Lust can also happen in a form of a trauma bond where this person is triggering your traumas and you feel you need to convince them to pick you, meaning, let's say one of your traumas is you were abandoned constantly as a child and she threatens that she's going to leave you. And so you're constantly getting triggered. And instead of noticing that this is a trauma bond, what you do is you convince them to stay with you and you demolish your needs, you demolish your integrity, you demolish yourself, and you lose yourself in this relationship. It becomes toxic. It's a constant chase, and this is actually a lust trauma bonding relationship. Lust also happens when we are infatuated with a woman's beauty and intimacy, where the intimacy is out of this world, possibly. And because of this, and it's not an experience you've ever had before, and because of this, you think that this is the one. You base this is the one off of the infatuation of beauty and intimacy, meaning, or just intimacy or just beauty, one or the other or both combined. And what happens here is you become in a lusting relationship because lustful relationships typically are driven by sexual nature, sexual experiences that you have with this woman. But here's where you have to be extremely careful as well, is when that infatuated state, because this intimacy is out of this world, is also where you have to be like very cautious if this is happening to you. Love feels calm, plain and simple. Love is very calming. Love is exciting, but an even tone of excitement. It's not like this high and this low that you get in lust. It can feel safe, and you feel safe in love. Love is a mutual feeling, and love is passionate and it's also compassionate. Whereas lust tends to be purely sexual attraction. So, lust is also about chemistry, where you feel it's based off of feeling. Love is also based off of feeling, but more in the compatibility, meaning this person is more compatible with me, more aligned with your life and your experience in life, what you want from life. Okay. And so a lot of times we can also get into lusting relationships because we're experiencing a trauma bond. And what trauma bonding is basically, if I could sum it up for you in this video, is trauma bonding is something we find ourselves in, is a repeated cycle we find ourselves in. And since our first romantic relationships are with our parents and our experiences maybe that happen in our upbringing, trauma can come in other romantic relationships as our adulthood, and which are intimate relationships as well. And so trauma bonding is picking the same experience, just maybe different storyline, a different face, but the same underlying experience. Like example I chose was abandonment before, right? Picking women that are emotionally unavailable because you're trying to fix your ending instead of rewriting a new beginning, meaning I'm going to attract emotionally unavailable women, and I'm going to convince them that I'm that they can be available for me. And so that means that my trauma doesn't exist. So what we go into is we go into this reactionary mode of I need to fix, I need to prove to myself, and we lose ourselves in this. And so we pick not high quality women, or we pick non-good relationships for ourselves where we find ourselves in trauma bonding relationships until we are able to get clear on the why we're finding ourselves here, do coaching, do the work, show up, invest in yourself and your personal development is where this starts to also turn a wheel in a positive notion. Remember, in order to get better with experiences and get better in relationships, especially if you're not good at it in the first place, we have to have experiences, but also too, we have to do the work. It's like you going to the gym and you only knowing one exercise. Obviously, you're not going to get the full body muscle. What you're going to get is probably one muscle that's going to be overworked and doesn't have an even tone to your body, right? Same thing when it comes to personal development is even though you have experiences, love takes work, relationships take work. And many of us, this is a new thing for a lot of us, is being like, I actually need help in the relationship department. So many people are ashamed of it, but why? Because it's not taught about in schools. It's sometimes not taught about in our household. So this is why we fall on our face in relationships, is because we don't want to feel that again. And since we don't want to feel it again, we can turn for help if we need it. And that feeling makes us turn for help sometimes. So when it comes to trauma bonding, I would encourage you to watch some more videos on that. I'll have them here on my channel. And also too, if you need some coaching with me, that would be a really good recommendation, is to help me walk you through it, because everybody's experience is different. And then also too, there's something called chemistry, which is highly, highly functional in lasting relationships, where we think of chemistry as this is all we need in order to be with this person. Chemistry is something that you feel. Chemistry is, she makes me feel great. We have great experiences together. She says this, she acts like this, and this is the one. But yet we throw everything out of the door, like emotional regulation, compatibility, communication, and we only focus so much on chemistry. This is where we get into lustful relationships, where we're being blinded by all the things that are healthy choices for us. And we focus on this lusting relationship and this one outcome with this woman that we get into obsessive thinking with her. And so when we find ourselves in a loving relationship, none of this exists. Most of it is not, it doesn't become boring. But here's the thing I want to say is, if you, and I've noticed this pattern significantly, men and women, if you have chased lusting relationships and infatuation and be a woman's beauty for your whole life, and you have always been in these type of relationships, you will find love boring if it's not chaotic. And that means that you have some work to do. This comes from therapy. It comes from coaching, because if you are not ready for secure relationships will feel boring to you. Doesn't mean that they are, because they're definitely not boring, guys. But this can also help you understand when you do try to be with a woman that's secure and you're like, why do I not get attracted to these women all the time, Apollonia? This is a reason why too, which I've seen very much so in my practice as well. And it's called working through it, understanding your limiting beliefs around yourself, women, the traumas you've been through, rewiring your brain of how you think of relationships and love, because love is safe, love is calming, but love is exciting, but has an even tone of excitement. And love and passion grows. It's interesting because when you're in love, intimacy gets better and better and better and better. It's not just this infatuated sexual relationship. And so many of us don't experience that. And so we think when we experience lust that this is love. So if you have any questions in regard to this, please feel free to comment below. If it's your first time visiting, subscribe. And also, because you stayed till the end, I have a free training video here for you below. If you want some more tips on really how to embody greatness within your own life and your mindset and be better with the choosing your woman and actually being better with attracting your dream woman, I will put this video down below for you to watch. It's a free training video on how to attract your dream girl, so you can get out of that infatuation state or that lustful state and really pave the way of love to attract love and a high quality woman into your life. I will not steer you wrong in that video training. Click it below. It's absolutely free. You can get it in your hands today. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. And if you're new to this channel, tell me below. Comment so I can interact with you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.